Cheers to another hard-fought couple of weeks. I'm 3 weeks behind. Let's get cut up. I got a lot of catch up to do. 3 weeks behind. I'm like, okay, I'm only 2 weeks. And I was like, oh wait, I'm 3 weeks behind. This is ridiculous. So let me just go ahead and give you guys a quick recap. A lot has gone on. So Kelsey and I, before Simon was even in the picture, had agreed to settle in Western Pennsylvania, where her parents live, where literally all of her family lives. She kind of missed, being in Western PA. So we agreed that, we would settle in like the Pittsburgh area. Her parents live like an hour and a half away from Pittsburgh. And there was a job near her parents' house, a travel job that came open like right when I started working at Carolina East. And they contacted me and offered me the position. And I said yes, just because it'd be such a great opportunity to go ahead, get that ball rolling, to go ahead and try to settle here. I love New Bern. New Bern's always going to be the hometown. Great town to grow up in. But I just, I wanted to get out of New Bern and, go on with my life, in a different town. Now, if we end up not really liking it here, then, I guess I will go back to New Bern. But I like Western PA pretty well, and they got great schools up here for Simon, and, close to family is always good too. So my parents said they might, want to come along, at some point too. So we'll see. But so we have a house in New Bern, and we've been trying to clean it up and pack everything, to come here. We still have a lot of stuff at home in New Bern, but we are currently having our house for rent through Airbnb. So we're staying here to parents. I'm working the travel job in a way to save some money to then buy a house in the Pittsburgh-ish area. So lots been going on. In the past couple weeks, getting all prepared for that. We got up here to her parents' place last Wednesday or Thursday. So it is Tuesday night, technically early Wednesday morning, that I'm finally getting this video done. And let's just go ahead. A lot to talk about and try to be real quick. So I'm going to go over week 11 real quick. Just, some quick tidbits. Let's see. There was an upset. Amendola Bagata beat Hertz Locker. He needed that win to keep his season alive. Felice Navidad had the most points in week 11. First time in the year she's had the most points. Also, her fourth win of the year beats. She only had 3 wins last year. Fourth win of the year in week 11, so beats the win total from last year. In a close one, I extend my winning streak to then 4 games against Patty in the Pastronaut, which he is now just plain Pat. I won by less than a point. Crazy.
Perfect season. Should be the last play. Hurts underneath, and now the laterals. And instead, it's going to be picked up for a touchdown on that lateral by Casey Toohill.
So then in week 12, me and Scranton Stranglers both won our matchups, so we actually clinched a playoff spot. Yay us. We were the 3rd and 4th teams to clinch playoff spots. And I led the league in scoring that week, 186. PGA, Pro Golf Association, a.k.a. Randy, a.k.a. Rubbing Out a Win, he had to win in week 12 to keep his season alive. Minuscule chance he made the playoffs, but he had to win to stay alive, and he did. In a crucial matchup with Just Plain Pat and Cut My Balls. Both had the same record. The loser would go to 6-6. The winner would go to 6-6. The loser would go to 5-7. Just Plain Pat beats Cut My Balls, so he created some separation there. There was entering week 13. There were 3 teams: Hertz Locker, Oh Leave Me Alone, and Just Plain Pat, that were all 6-6. If they won, they would have 7 wins, and they would automatically clinch a playoff spot. So let's go on to now week 13, which was this past week, and let's see who clinched playoff spots between those 3 teams. We'll start for Hertz Locker because he clinched. He's the 5th team in the Famleegue in the 2023 season, Season 3, to clinch a playoff spot. He beat Scranton Stranglers 173 to 123. They are both 7-6, and since Hertz Locker owns the tiebreaker, I actually think they're tied, but Hertz Locker has more points, which more points is the tiebreaker to the head-to-head tiebreaker. Jamar Chase and Debo Samuel combined for 67 points. Debo had 3 touchdowns. He was the 2nd highest scorer in all of week 13. He had to start Charbonnet at running back, or I guess he chose to. And he scored 16 points, had a decent game, but then he got hurt, which is a perfect segue into Scranton Stranglers, who has Kenneth Walker, should be coming back. Scranton Stranglers, looking at his team on paper, is scary. You do not want to face him in the playoffs. He's a dark horse to win it all, which so is Hertz Locker, but both those teams, they actually could face each other again in round 1 of the playoffs. So that could be the best matchup of the entire postseason. For him, Brock Purdy. Also, speaking of dark horses, he's a dark horse to win the MVP. It's crazy. Mr. Irrelevant to MVP. Insane. So another good thing for Hertz Locker is punter at 14, his defense at 17. So he just had a very strong week. So he's in the playoffs. Let's check on Oh Leave Me Alone. Could she punch her ticket into the playoffs? She could not. She lost 105 to 90. A huge win for Cut My Balls. He is now tied with Oh Leave Me Alone, both 6-7. And in the head-to-head, they both have 1 win against each other, 1 loss against each other. So Cut My Balls actually leads her in the standings because he has scored more points. Joe Mixon, 29 points on Monday Night Football. As for Oh Leave Me Alone, despite losing her fantasy matchup with Isaiah Pacheco coincidentally leading her team in scoring, Isaiah Pacheco was the last person who she had on a 7-leg anytime touchdown parlay for a chance to win $2,100. Had a chance to cash out at $800 or $700. She lets it ride for $2,100. I'll show you what happened.
Yo, she got it! She got it! Oh my gosh! $2,100. How are we feeling?
Fabulous now. Now wait.
$2,100 on a 7-leg parlay. Do you know how hard that is to hit? I mean, she had some easy guesses, but usually one of those guys will mess it up. Just one. But all 7 got it right. Unfreaking believable. I might need to have her as a segment. I know you guys can't all sports bet, Most of you guys are in North Carolina, but she has won close to $3,000 or more in the past week from sports betting. And she hasn't even wagered that much either. She's put together these crazy long parlays and only puts maybe $10, $15, $20, $25 on. Insane. She put 10 on that anytime touchdown parlay. It's just insane. It is insane. I don't know how she's doing it, but I need to copy all of her bets. So, we're going to move on to Just Plain Pat. So, another team could clinch. Could he? He could not. He loses to Amendola Oblongata. Crucial win for him. He wins 119-81. Just plain Pat, just plain underperformed. From Mahomes down to his punter. Everyone underperformed for him, except for Trey McBride, who had 22 points. Now, Stephon Diggs did have a bye, and Tank Dell also is out for the season. He got 0 points, so a little tough for him. Amendola Oblongata, Alvin Kamara, 28 points. Mike Evans, 29 points. Mike Evans, 1,000 receiving yards in all of his 10 seasons in his career. Go ahead and just give him the golden jacket, man. That's Hall of Fame. That's Hall of Fame status. So Olave, me alone, and just plain Pat could have clinched if they won, but they lost. They currently hold the 7th and 8th seed, but there's 3 teams underneath them that are only a game back, so they have to win in order to get in the playoffs. The 6, 7, 8 seed have to win in order to get in the playoffs. Once I'm done going over these scores, I'll do the best I can to break it down for you guys and make it clear. We're going to move on to the highest matchup, the highest scoring matchup in the history of the Famleegue. Me and my honey. She beat me in week 2. I get my revenge here. I win 199.56 to 187.78. An absolute bloodbath. An explosion. We almost combined for 400 points. That is we were sitting beside each other the whole day just watching all this unfold. It was just, it was epic. It was epic. And then also watching Kendra win her sports bet too. Insane. Also, you know what? I mean, I threw Kendra's wings up here. I gotta throw this up here too. $1,600 win. $1,600 on a $35 bet. I put 25 in, Kendra put 10 in, so we split it up. But I got over 1,000 on the win, so I gotta congratulate myself. I guess Kendra, since she put the $10 on there, kind of helped me win because she's been real lucky. So anyway, Nico Collins. I'm getting Nico Collins jersey, man. I've been high on him all year. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get him on all my teams, but I got on about half my teams. 34 points. CD and Dak, getting something of them too. Maybe a t-shirt with both of them on it. I'm huge fans now. Sorry, big CD Lamb fan. I like and appreciate Dak, but it's on a whole nother level now. Cowboys to the Super Bowl, man. Cowboys Dolphins Super Bowl. I'm calling it. Achan's back. Laporta 29. Just masterclass. I have led the league in scoring 5 of the last 6 weeks. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but freaking toot, man. Started off 0-4. How many times I gotta remind you guys each week, man? Every week I'm just reminding you. I started off 0-4. Here I am, 8-5. I was 9th in scoring on week 7, and now I lead the league in scoring. Let's go. But it's not what matters in the regular season. It matters what happens in the postseason. But it's just been fun. It goes to show you guys, you can have a shit beginning and then end strong, So you just never know how fancy is. So that's the beauty of it. Who we've not gone over yet? Felice Najee and just Josh Nya. And Felice Najee needs to win here to stay alive, and she does. She wins 103-89. D-Hop at 18. Travis Etienne for just Josh Nya had 17. Terry McLaurin, what a freaking disappointment, man. I like Scary Terry, Solid wide receiver. He was borderline elite wide receiver before the season started, but I don't know what is going on. I don't know if him and Sam Howell don't get along or something, but he's just not really had an explosive fantasy year. So I don't know. That's been a huge hurting to Josh all year. That was his keeper too, so it really hadn't made too big of an impact. All right. So let's go over all this playoff stuff. I'm gonna try to do the best I can. So the current standings are Cup, the 6 and 7 teams. Cup has a 6 seed currently. Olave has a 7 seed, and Just Plain Pat has an 8 seed. The 9 through 11 is Feliz Navidad at 9, Amadol Amagata at 10, and Pro Golf Association at 11. So I have it as, for the playoff berths, if there's teams that have the same record, I have it by their head-to-head matchup is like the tiebreaker. And there's a couple teams like the 6 and 7 seed, Cut My Balls and Ole Me Alone. Their season matchup is 1-1, so they both beat each other and they both lost to each other. But the tiebreaker to the head-to-head record is points scored, so that's why Cut My Balls is 6, Ole Me Alone is 7, because Cut My Balls has scored more points than Ole Me Alone. So I tried to figure out the scenarios for every team, and I'm gonna try to explain to you guys as best I can. So the 6 and 7, the 6 win teams, if they win, they're in. Simple as that. So easiest case scenario is if Cut My Balls, Ole Me Alone, and Just Plain Pat all win, then they're in. Then we don't have to figure out anything. But all right, the Week 14 preview. So we'll go over these teams that have playoff implications. We'll start with Cut My Balls. He has to play the number 2 seed Grant Strength, or number 2 seed Smokin' Joe. He has to face the 2 seed. She's only lost 3 times, but one of her 3 losses is to Cut My Balls. So, if history repeats itself, then he's in the playoffs. He's only projected to win by he's only projected to lose by less than a point. Next, the 7 seed, Leave Me Alone. She's going to face Amendola Oblongata. So, both these teams trying to win. She's in. Amendola Oblongata, if he wins, so he's going to have to hope that other people in front of him lose, so then he gets in. Leave Me Alone's projected to win 112 to 106. The 8 seed, Just Plain Pat. He's going to face the number 5 seed, Grant Stranglers. He's projected to lose 131 to 76. I think there's some lineup maneuvers he needs to make. But a lot of these, which, I mean, of course, your lower seeds are going to play the higher seeds. But there's not really a lower seed matchup except for Leave Me Alone and Amendola Oblongata. Next one, number 9 seed, Felice Najee Dodge. She's going to have to face the number 1 seed, Allen's Predators. Allen's Predators projected to win 126 to 119. The 10 seed, I already said that, Amendola Oblongata. 11 seed, PGA is going to have to face the 4 seed Hertz Locker. These matchups are tough for these lower seeds trying to get in the playoffs. Hertz Locker is projected to win 123 to 116. And then I face Just Joshua. I'm projected to win 138 to 110. Now, if I lose to Just Joshua, if I lose and Hertz Locker and Scranton Stranglers win, they will all have the same record. Hertz Locker will get the 3 seed because he owns a tiebreaker over me and Scranton Stranglers. I'm the tiebreaker over Scranton Stranglers, so I would get the 4 seed. Scranton Stranglers get the 5 seed. So I feel like Tanner's almost locked in at the 5 seed, but if I win, 3 seed's mine. If I lose, Hertz Locker loses, and Scranton Strangler wins, then Scranton Stranglers would get. I'd get the 3 seed. Scranton Stranglers get the 4 seed. Hertz Locker get the 5 seed. So basically, if I lose and Hertz Locker and Scranton Stranglers win, then that will, switch it up, me and Bryce, for the 3 and 4 seed. But if I win, then Hertz Locker and Scranton Stranglers will meet again. All right. If there's anything I didn't cover, I'll try to cover in the group text. I do want to get these playoff implications correct. So whatever happens, after Monday, I want to go and look and make sure that it is fair.
It's not the most deserving. It's the best 4 teams. If that ain't the best 4 teams out there, I don't believe any man or woman sitting on that committee doesn't believe that that's not one of the best teams.
We'll make sure the most deserving teams are getting this one. Okay? We will make sure of it. Good luck, and I will see you guys Tuesday.